All right, looks like we are good to go. I got poLemin with me again, as you guys can see.
Hello.
Maybe that's the new tactic. every time I have that record button pushed when I'm doing my map analysis videos, I always have to come back into the game client, and I don't like to alt tab because my keyboard's super loud. So I always like right click or left click, which causes me to knife. So I just need an actual gun out, and then I can right click, and nobody will be the wiser. It'll be perfect.
Well, unless you pick up the clock, which makes like
yeah. Then Glocker from last. Then I'm still pranking. I assume this must be fixable at some other point, but maybe this was like this lovely texture wrap here. Must be one of those.
I think it's displacements actually. I don't know. Maybe it's a model.
Oh yeah, I guess it could be. I don't actually know. Is the process for UV wrapping and stuff different depending on if it's a displacement versus a model?
A model you can do like the regular UV unwrapping in a 3D software like Maya or Max or whatever.
Oh, I see.
And displacements or brushes are inside of Hammer, which is very limited in terms of unwrapping. It looks like it's editor stuff. It's not an actual tool.
Oh, okay. And you think there's any way actually around that, or would they essentially have to make this a model if they wanted?
Yeah, I
to,
would make that a model, 100%.
Yeah. Okay, interesting. See, this is why it's helpful to have you around, because when I'm over here like, look at these guys, they didn't even use their UV wrapping properly. What's wrong with them? Don't they know how to use 3D art assets and stuff? And you know, then you can come in and educate me. I also think that stuff like this, it's a cute tech demo thing, but it's so janky on source, where you can see like the damage is not like consistent. So if I like have a bullet hole on one part of it and another part will break off sometimes, you know, because it's not like, it's probably emulated physics or whatever. It's not like real physics.
Yeah. Well, it is real physics actually.
Oh, okay. Well, something's fucked up because you see how like I shot one part and then another part popped off, right? And then like the whole model loses its decals and stuff.
The individual pieces are behaving like real physics, but the way it breaks, of course, doesn't.
Yeah, so it's some sort of like hard-coded stuff. And then it looks like they lose collision after they finish animating, which is why that one phased through the other or something.
You define the fractures beforehand.
Oh, okay.
And then just place it, and once you tell the game, okay, it's broken now, then the individual parts fall apart.
Yeah, so if that was hit with, like, if I threw a grenade at one of these things, that would probably look a bit more natural, right?
Ooh.
But when I'm just shooting it, you know, it obviously looks weird.
Oh,
I think that's how Unreal works too, right? Like, I think Unreal you can also specify little fractures or whatever that you want.
Yeah, so. But in Unreal you can give it a direction, like where the impact is coming from.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense then. Well, I guess we should be able to just kick this one off then. This is going to be a weird map to analyze.
Yeah.
Just because of the layout. So let me jump over here to make sure I got the names right. Okay, so this is Rift by UselessMouth, AlexCookie, and FaPaH002. Probably somebody's name is wrong there, but you know, those are the people that I saw in the Steam profiles, so that's another thing that at some point I'm sure we can talk about is people who are going to standardize their username display somehow. So that I don't have to keep doing a guessing game. So yeah, this is T-Spawn across the ridge, or in this opening over here that we were commenting on the wrapping job of earlier. And I mean, I guess in some cases the barriers are somewhat well, maybe they're not that elegant after all, but like I can't really tell where the barrier starts and ends, right? Which is like kind of an issue. But the fact that we can go this far out is kind of cool, even though there's not really that many features around here. You know, we can still find a chicken in the middle of a wasteland, and we could still wrap around. So it's an interesting take, like something that probably maybe this sort of thing has been done in other FPS games, but I haven't seen like anything sort of like this, where there's not really that much cover, but a wide open area for you to move around. That's why I said it's going to be a difficult map to analyze the layout of, because you almost have like, you have a map in there in the middle, and then you've got this outskirts that looks like it would just be walled off in any other map.
Yeah.
But
I mean, still the main gameplay area draws a lot of attention naturally.
Right, yeah.
So it's not that big of an issue in the beginning, but once people figure out the map and see that they can go out there too to get some weird off angle or just different angle that the enemy might not expect.
Yeah, it becomes much harder to plan around, I think. It's kind of cool that they allow you to do that sort of a skill jump or whatever. And then, as you see, this map almost ends up looking a little avant-garde with its holes in the terrain, right, that are clearly designed for nades and stuff. I may have just flashed you, sorry.
Oh. I think I found even more stuff.
What did you... Oh, I see. Yeah, it looks like a little stepladder up there. That jump is a little tricky for me.
That's so Nintendo-like. I don't know. It was very arcadey.
Yeah. So what, you can actually just stay on this and then...
Yeah.
I'm amazed I did that in one go. Yeah, the other problem, though, is that, like... Can you actually step down from there? No. It doesn't seem very reliable. So yeah, I'm not actually sure what's up with that. But, I mean, I guess it does give you a nice vantage point, but you are then stuck on, like... You know, good luck actually not getting sniped, you know what I mean? So I do wonder if that just adds a lot more complexity. Like, there's another map that's in the middle of development. I'm not sure if you're familiar with it. I forget actually what it's called. It might be like... It has something to do with Victoria or Victorian or something like that. It's by a mapper named Soldat Duchrist or Christ.
Yeah, I'm familiar.
Yeah, so he put out a video on it and stuff. And his map has a huge amount of shit like this where you're running around on multiple levels. And the main concern that I think anybody who's played CS is familiar with that is, like, it just adds so much overhead for the player who's holding to have to consider. And, you know, he had a whole bunch of responses to that, like, oh, you can hold from these angles to isolate stuff. It's just that with this map, I don't even know if it's possible to hold from different angles to isolate stuff unless you play super passive initially.
It just adds a layer of complexity that's not necessary, really, and at the same time makes it really hard for other players to predict enemy movement, which is a huge part of Counter-Strike's gameplay, since the time to die is so short.
Yeah.
Like, of engagements, you can die instantly.
Yeah, just
so
because
you
the
never
opponent
want
had
to be
an
caught off
advantage
guard.
positionally, yeah. So. And then.
So predictability is very important in Counter-Strike, particularly. What was that? Ooh, Jesus.
Yeah, so those are interactable. And you can blow up the floor and have the hostage fall down as well. So I'm assuming there's some sort of nade lineup where you could probably, as a T, bomb the supports somehow without dealing that much damage to the hostage and losing all your money. I only lost 120 for that grenade, so...
I wish you could drop the hostage into a different section, though.
Yeah.
Because that's effectively the same. You still need to walk the same route.
Right.
To get there.
No, all it means is, like, you can't break this support too, which feels a little inconsistent. Yeah. But all it means is that you have to jump down, and then you might be in a more precarious position to get the hostage.
Yeah, but you can get to the hostage from here, which you couldn't otherwise. I don't think you... Oh, you can make that jump, actually.
Well, you can make that jump. Listen, let's be real. But the other problem too is that, like, well, I guess what happens if you just fall down? Can you even? I guess I can just do this, but then I would have to get the hostage and then fall back, I guess. I'm confused a little bit about what the impact of that is, because the other thing to remember about this map is CTs spawn in right over here. So they can just walk up and get the hostage. Like, I'm not even sure if it's possible for...
Oh wait, CT spawn here?
Yeah. I'm not even sure if it's possible for the terrorists to block the hostage grabbing. You know what I mean? Because
That's
like there's no
interesting.
line of sight that lets you shoot out the supports or whatever. Even if you make that
doesn't
jump,
make
that
any
Mario
sense
jump.
to me.
Like you make that Mario jump that we were just talking about, or showing
Yeah.
off and like okay, then you can see it, but they can already get it at that point. Like they literally spawn right here. So.
Okay, I'm very confused right now. I need to wrap my head around the fact that the offensive team spawns right at the objective.
Yeah, I mean, sort of like what happened with Paro, which I know you saw a little bit of the map analysis that I did for that. Like they have a different take on the layout for hostage maps, and that I think is like necessary because we have to figure out like how to actually make the map
totally.
make the map work or get the game mode work using map balance. But
Okay, anyway, but I feel like all of this space here, like this staging space here,
yeah.
and a lot of the side rooms feel very pointless, given that CTs can just grab the hostage.
Well, yeah. So the helicopters don't spawn
here
until like a minute in or something, right? So.
Oh, okay.
So that's how there's like a built-in time limit before they can actually bring the hostage to the zone, which I assume is the balancing act.
Okay, so you have.
I don't remember the exact time, but what's up, Pete? Welcome.
So it actually puts you into a disadvantage to grab the hostage right away, isn't it? Because
yeah, you'll have a movement penalty until because okay, so the helicopter can either spawn over here on the right or it can spawn over here on the left. So either one of these like wooden ports, and it's not clear which one is going to happen. I think there's a flare marking which one. You see the flare over there on the right.
Yeah.
I think if we restart the game, we might get a different flare initially, or maybe the flare only ignites after the helicopter starts to arrive.
Oh, there's one.
Is it yeah, but it's not burning.
They're both there.
Yeah. So like both of the flares are there, but you don't know which one is active until the helicopter spawns in. So we'll figure out what the delay is as well this time around. But like, I'm not seeing a really easy way to. Yeah. Okay. So the flare on the left just turned on. Around like 25 seconds in to signify which one it was. So basically you take map control initially and then you pivot to which side. For the Ts, I assume, you'd take map control initially for, I guess, both teams, but Ts have more freedom to take map control. And then... Oh, I finally made that jump. I failed it so many times when I was actually playing this map. But, yeah, so then the helicopter arrives, and it's in position in about a minute, it looks like. It looks like you're ready to go. Yeah. So about like 59 seconds into the round, basically. So then you decide, you know 25 seconds in which one it is based on the flare. And then you basically then have to coordinate with your team.
Okay, and once you touch the zone...
once you touch that little, the wooden part, you've rescued the hostage, basically.
Okay.
But it still is...
Can you shoot that down too?
Can I what?
Can you shoot that down too?
No, I don't think so. Yeah. It's definitely a different feel. And yes, you have this seemingly random thing. Oh, you can actually interact with that. I didn't know that. I have not fully understood the purpose of that.
Well, it's probably to speed up rotations when you're like, you gain control here, for example, this area, and then you see the flare on the other side going up. So you press the button, in that direction, then you get like a little bit of a speed boost, but...
You also are a little bit safer, I guess, but then you move slower. So I'm not actually sure if the timing is such that you actually do get there faster, because you've got to crouch.
Yeah. Also, thematically, I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, it doesn't work with this map thematically whatsoever, that's for sure. Like, I don't know why you would have this weird thematic, and then all of a sudden, a random escalator, or it's not escalator.
Belt.
Conveyor belt, yeah. I'm not sure what's up with that. I think that this map has some interesting ideas. And you also have this little
definitely.
rotation.
But it also feels like the map tries to fit so many things into one.
Yeah. I would actually like to see a more conventional,
elements.
like a more conventional layout. try this idea of the helicopter with the flare and the, you know what I mean, like the game mode specific changes. I think are really interesting and deserve some more exploration, but it does feel a bit overcrowded. You know, like you can't necessarily focus all your attention on that because there's more stuff too. Like there's this underground tunnel area, and obviously there's water underneath at this side, so you can avoid all fall damage by jumping down here. And then there's a ladder that is at a weird angle that makes me always miss it. And then there's all these destructible things that we were looking at earlier, those vases. So.
Yeah, I feel like there are a lot of interesting elements, but they kind of seem to be just slapped together rather than actually designed around them.
What's up, Slimek? Yeah, you can't choose which one it's going to be as either team on this map. I didn't know that about Extraction though. That's kind of cool that you can choose which one. Oh, by the way, poLemin, have I actually walked past the map already that has you mentioned that there was a map where you could toggle on low gravity? Did I already analyze
played it yesterday, or not yesterday. What was it? On Wednesday?
Was that the Elsa map?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I couldn't find it anywhere, so I just...
I don't know what the exact trigger was. I think it's like planting the bomb or blowing up the bomb or something like that.
Oh.
And then gravity changes.
That adds a very different layer that I probably would have changed my analysis based around that, but I didn't fully plant the bomb at any point, so I didn't know that.
Something I also thought about the space map was that actually, like physically, you shouldn't have any sound.
Oh yeah, true. No, like I was saying, it totally feels weird in those sci-fi maps or those futuristic maps or whatever, those high-tech maps to be running around as a terrorist with an AK-47 or whatever. Like, that doesn't seem reasonable at all. Apparently, Slimek says the bomb has to blow up on Elsa if you want the low gravity.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, that's weird, but you know.
You're blowing up the gravity.
Does that mean it only has to blow up once?
No, I guess it's reset in the next round. But like the post explosion seconds
are
in low gravity. Or no gravity.
Well, yeah, that has a little bit less of an impact then, so it's probably not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
It's more of a thematic then. I mean, it does impact gameplay in case you're saving or whatever, but
that doesn't happen too often.
I would have liked I would like an actual. So if somebody wanted to convert Elsa into like a full-blown 5v5 diffuse map, I would like a bomb site with 0G on the outside and a bomb site with inside that has G. That would be pretty epic, I think. That would be a nice way to like work it all in, you know, like have terrorists go outside and they're just fucking floating around. Just saying. How did I set up that bind for recasting nades? SV_rethrow_last_grenade. I think it requires SV cheats 1. But that's just a bind. So yeah, I mean,
should require SV cheats 1.
Yeah, could you imagine? I flashed him. Okay, I flashed him again.
Flashed him again.
Okay, I flashed him again. Yeah. Nah, I think that should be something that Valve adds in, please.
Do you also have like a weird grain effect on your view?
In where?
This map? Generally, but it's most noticeable in the low ground, like this little tunnel.
Grain effect.
Grain.
Like film grain?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I do see it in here. That's not a normal CSGO thing, so... Can you even... Is that even something you can do in a map, though?
Yeah.
You can just change people's views? Okay.
Yes.
Reasonable.
You can even... There was a map, I don't know if it was CS Source or like early CSGO, which had like a vignette effect, so your edges of the screen were darker.
I would actually just shoot myself in the head in that map. Then.
It was so annoying.
I can't handle any... I'm so like sensitive to any sort of screen effect. That's why I can't even play like the latest Doom games or whatever, because just everything is post-processing. So I just not my style, man. Prefer the game's graphics to just look good and that's it, instead of just throwing a bunch of shit on it. Yeah, I think it makes sense to go for consistency, but I think it's as long as like it's a giant area of the map that's consistent. I think that could also be good. I don't know, man. I have a lot of wacky ideas and zero know-how of how to do it. I'm the quintessential ideas guy. So if you're a source workhorse and you just want to make a map, but you have no ideas, talk to me, man. I'll hook you up. Yeah, there's also some. You were talking about like side areas that don't really have a lot of what do you call it? Potential or purpose? Like,
Purpose, yeah.
How do you feel about this? Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of whatever the fuck, I fear no evil, for Rift will save me. Like, what is going on here? I guess it's a speed racer avenue or something. I'm really confused about it, like a lot of the rotations on this map, because I do feel like maybe it's got a. This is like the open borders of CSGO maps. You know what I mean? Like, not quite sure it's working out. Wear ear protection, by the way.
Yeah, you should.
I guess it's a bit more interactive than I initially thought with the. Oh. Wow, I just tried to surf and I somehow surfed backwards. That's pretty impressive. Ooh. There we go. Okay, you can surf on that. That's kind of cool, I guess. But yeah, there are a lot of ideas. They tried a lot of cool things. I hope that I hope something or a lot of things in this map work out such that they're able to like use these ideas in future creations. Because I really like the idea of somehow visually indicating the rescue zone and having that be a dynamic element between each map. I do wish it was something players could influence, because then it's not random, right? So you're not like, it's not a roll of the dice, because randomness usually is antithetical to competitive play. So you want it to be something that players can choose. But I mean, one obvious way would be to this sounds pretty nuts, but what if you could plant the bomb in hostage mode and you just bomb out one of the docks? Easy. Force the helicopter to the other one. The other thing that you could do with a little bit less ridiculous like plug-in work or whatever the fuck you would need to do to have bombs in hostage would be, you would have to, like, maybe it goes to the one that has less terrorists on the side of it. So if there's like 3 terrorists on the left side of the map, left half, it'll go to the right one or something. That way it's like you're actually rewarded for getting map control in having knowledge. So you can kind of choose or attempt to choose which one it goes on. Aha, you failed to jump. And that will change based on your performance. So you can say, hey, what I want to do is, I want to, you know, make it move to the left, and I have like a lurk position or something. It's possible to get stuck over here, so that's pretty cool. But there's like a way to, I think there's a way to do it that doesn't involve random.
I mean, for like planting the bomb to destroy one of the piers or whatever you want to call platforms. I guess you could also use the C4 danger zone, so it doesn't have to be tied to the game mode, I guess.
Oh yeah, true.
Just have to equip players with it.
Yeah, you would have to have it like be equipment that you could buy, because so like maybe there's one that's closer to CT territory that. Oh, I guess you could even have it go both ways. So CTs pick which helicopter extraction point they want, but if that one gets bombed in the middle of the round, then you basically have like phases of the objective. You know what I mean? Sort of like what happened with Paro, actually, where there's a phase of like initial recon, and then there's the phase of extracting the hostage.
Yeah.
So it's a bit more than straightforward than. We already have that anyway, because we already have that in Diffuse, where you have like the phase of planting the bomb and then the phase of defusing it or retaking it or something. So I think it would be possible to do that. I'm pretty interested in where that could go. So as far as the layout goes, though, I know that they tried some wacky shit. I'm not personally a fan of the individual rooms. I feel like a little too claustrophobic and a little too like gamified, I guess. But not in a way that, maybe that's just my CSGO bias speaking. I actually do, I find it fine if people want to go for like really obviously gamified things like that Mario jump or whatever. I think it's, conceptually it's fine, but maybe the issue that I'm rubbing up against is that the general visual thematic of the map lacks some consistency.
Yeah.
But that's more of like a
authenticity.
visceral, like audio-visual thing, more so than it is a critique on the layout or something like that. But I do think that the layout, it has some interesting ideas in general, the map. And I would like to see more people do more things with that, like go further with those concepts. But I'm not sure about where to go from there. So
it's like I said, I feel like the map has a lot of interesting ideas that are just not well enough executed, in my opinion. You have this conveyor belt, which is very unique, but it doesn't really do anything for gameplay. It's set up very weirdly, especially with the fact that you need to crouch, but you can't go there if it's going into the other direction. Oh, that's
I think you can
interesting.
very slowly.
You just do you know what you just did?
No, what happened? Did
You
I
threw the grenade and you swapped the direction of the conveyor belt.
Oh yeah, you can shoot it, I guess.
Okay, that's cool. I like that actually.
Yeah, all right, interesting. Especially that it's possible with grenades
stupid,
too.
But it's funny.
Yeah. If it's possible with grenades, you don't even have to get into the line of sight. In theory, you can find a lineup for it. Although, I wonder. Yeah, that's a problem. I don't know about that one. Don't try this at home, kids. Yeah, it's pretty psychotic. I guess if you remove the Molotov interaction, it would probably be good. Can you just like...
Yeah.
You can bounce grenades off of it and that activates it too, which is pretty sensible. You know what this actually did? You mentioned the danger zone items. The layout of the rooms in this level kind of remind me almost of danger zone rooms in the sense that they don't really have like the same kind of gameplay that we would come to expect from a more competitive map.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the map scale is way off for Danger Zone, but just the room, some of these rooms in general, it's like, oh, it's going to take you down some weird paths. There's some weird cubby holes and angles.
Can be on the high ground almost everywhere.
Yeah, yeah.
That's true. It feels Danger Zone-y in that particular.
I think Danger Zone's like an untapped potential in terms of the kind of things you can do in those maps, since you don't have the same expectations as a 5v5 map, and people who are interested in playing those maps would probably be fine with like weirder shit. So I think there's a lot you could do with Danger Zone, but time will tell if anybody activates it in that way. Anyway, I don't know if you have any final thoughts on this map, but I'm afraid I don't have that much to say. Ultimately, I do think the ideas are pretty cool conceptually.
Yep.
And I would like to see more people.
I feel, weirdly enough, I don't like this map, but I feel very inspired by it.
Yeah, there you go. Sometimes that's the best stuff. You know, if you think somebody has.
There are so many cool ideas where I'm like, okay, but that could be a little bit better, and it could actually work. It's epic.
I do like the destructible stuff. If that wasn't clear by me doing it all the time. Oh, there appears to be a little hidey hole.
Yeah, I saw that.
I guess that's like a dirty angle you can play with an op. If somebody's jumping down there. Or if they're rotating through there for some reason. Yeah, I think another puzzling thing is that the placement of the team spots definitely seems a bit odd. Like, the most of the gameplay is on the terrorist half of the layout. Like, most of the actual spots for firefights, right? So you're going to have a lot of consolidation of a lot of action happening on the CT side of things, but there's less gameplay space for them to happen in relative to what's over on the T half. You know what I mean? Like, there's more rooms on the T half.
Yeah.
And yet they're probably almost never going to be looked at.
Yeah, that's what I meant earlier. It was like all of this space back here loses a lot of importance by having the CT spawn so close to the objectives.
Well, I guess that's that then. That's our verdict.
Yep.
Take it or leave it. Some whack-ass patterns of, of geometry over there, but that's all right. Okay. Moving on to the next one, we have Lazio by Denqua. Let's see if I can grab that one. There we go. I was talking about this on, I don't know if you were still in the stream, on the last stream I was talking about this, how CSGO has some of the best gunplay out of any tac shooters I've played, and yet we have so few people trying to do wacky stuff with game modes and stuff like that. So part of me feels a little guilty for like negatively reviewing a map that has a lot of really cool ideas. But like you said, there's things that you could do to, you know, improve on one of those. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it's not only the idea; it also like the implementation counts too.
Yeah.
I guess. Right down to that.
Let's go, my friend.
So, looks like we got a more standard-ish map here. This is Lazio by Denqua. Looks like an Italian map. We have the Inferno Well as our spawn point. We have some very well-lit grass over here.
Very well lit.
You don't even want to look at this, let alone go past it. So I guess that's effective. Not to throw shade initially, but got some meals. If you ever were hungry.
Mm.
All right, so I guess we can just go straight over this way. Follow the arrow. These walls are a bit plain, don't you think?
A little bit, maybe. It actually looks like they forgot to pack a texture.
Yeah, that might be the case.
It's just plain white.
Yeah, that's like most people. I mean, we're talking about gray boxes, not white boxes. You know what I mean? But okay, so you can jump back up onto here.
There's a lot going on already. I'm already confused.
Yeah, let's backtrack here. Back to the arrow. And go to the...
So this doesn't go anywhere, right?
Yeah, that little...
I see you running through here. Oh, no. Okay, that just doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah, I don't even think there's a line of sight or anything.
It's just so bright.
Yeah, it drags your attention over. Also, the lighting seems to change as you're coming out, unless that's just me getting adapted to it. No, yeah, I guess it's the same. That house is fucking bright, though. Holy shit. Don't look left, whatever you do. Alright, so we can also go down.
Might not be the best. Oh, you're very bright down here. Look at me. Visibility issue is fixed.
Yeah, true. Fuck it, dude. We just have glowing suns in our back pocket, that's all. That's how we establish fairness. So you can go under there, and I can go to the right over here to this house where there's... Hey, there's overpass party over here. That's pretty cool, I guess. There's a door that I can open and get blinded by... Dude, this is like a natural flashbang. Close that door and open it again. I'm telling you.
I love it.
Yeah, so there might be some visibility issues on this map.
A little bit wacky. Ooh.
It looks like you just broke glass or something. Yeah, it looks like it. Can you jump out of there? It looks like you can also jump back in there.
Yeah, I
actually.
just did.
Yeah, there's a lot of interplay between some of these things. So I have... Hold on, I'm going to fly over to CT spawn. Where we have some additional bright textures, and then normally lit textures, and then bright texture. Like, the bricks are really seemingly brighter. Maybe that's actually just an illusion, though.
I need to get sunglasses for this map.
The most useful vent.
I hate that I need to jump up on it.
Yeah, that seems a little unnatural. But also, why? Because there's a giant rotation spot over here. Like, this might be one of those maps where, like... Okay, so I can already tell you that there's going to be post plants from the CT spawn area. What is the bomb area? Is it just this? Like the surround that box? Can you plant up? Okay. What if can I boost you on top of the statue? But you can't plant there?
Here.
Okay. So at all of those levels you can plant. But yeah, so post plants are going to be... You could easily run back here as a T and take angles, but I'm not sure what... Like, oh, actually, you don't need to
the hole gives you an angle onto the door, but that's about it. I don't know why the vent is necessary. It just hides.
Well, I guess the vent is an
It's
audio cue for
CT?
CTs who are within range to know that that's a possible angle if it hasn't been popped already. But this is also a pretty dirty angle for CTs to take into there. Like if I'm on top of here, if I can manage to do that.
Especially behind you. Let's assume you're a CT with a dark helmet. Behind you, there's this wooden beam, which is also very dark.
Oh yeah, try to looking at that guy. I mean, he's
Yeah.
already obviously not looking directly at you, so the yellow
Yeah.
would help out a little bit there. But that's a headshot angle because you're looking through dark texture. You know, through the whatever this railing is.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's pretty intense.
All of the exits for T. Okay, can you go up there?
Where?
Oh my. Okay, so T's have 1, 2, 3, 4,
And then the door.
5 exits. That's a lot.
I think that CTs can get to the door, this upper doorway first, though.
Yeah.
And hold it. Like,
Okay,
I think a
then
T
you-
might be able to get... Oh, maybe not. Hold on. Oh, they'd be able to see a T. Like, well, yeah, look at this. So, like, there's no door you have to open, and we spawned over here. So we would actually be able to see a T pushing in, even if we didn't hear him. Like, I could actually
Well,
have
it's
one
fun
guy be
engagement
holding
for
this.
T's.
I guess you can sit behind the box without being seen, but that's still pretty risky. So like I could actually just have one T holding here and then the other one going the other way. Trying to see if there's... Oh.
But if you do that, you cover one entrance, basically, from here. And you're open to everything that happens, or everything that... Yeah, everything that happens on the other side of the map.
Sup,
Oh,
bitch?
you exited the map.
I didn't do that intentionally. Can you imagine if that was just more gameplay space that we didn't know about? I was trying to do a jump spot where I was trying to see if I could... I can see the guy if I do this jump spot. I can see him if he's at that headshot angle that we were looking at earlier. But... Oh, yeah. That's easy, I
Nice.
guess.
Teamwork.
So, yeah, I guess we could do that. But you can't be boosted in here, I don't think. Because of the low ceiling. Can I...
boost you up?
Yeah, let's see that. It doesn't look like it. Oh! I think
You
I'm
can
off you,
look.
though. Wait. Yeah. This is probably not intentional. I wouldn't be able to see any post-plan here, though. Like, my line of sight is...
Yeah, but you could clear the guy that's sitting here. No, you can't. Oh, well, maybe. Oh, yeah.
I can't really see you, though.
I can't see you either.
Yeah.
I can only see you because of the name.
Yeah, exactly. But I guess I could find some really easy lineup of a Molotov.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that would even spread to you, but there's probably something that's super easy. So yeah, this is probably not intentional.
What feels weird to me in this map is that you don't really have areas that you would want to fight over.
Yeah, it's pretty much just the bomb site, huh?
CTs have two very straight lines of view. Like this one, you can sit here and have like this weird headshotty angle through the door and the next doorway.
Well, this is closed at map start.
Okay.
So you would have to at least open it. But you know, like a CT could. What happened?
Does it break when you shoot it? Yeah, it does. Okay.
I guess that's just
shoot a hole in
rubble. Yeah, it looks like that's gonna fade out. Yeah. Okay. So this could be naded off by either team. It would probably behoove the. Yeah, okay. I can only imagine the shotgun plays. Although you can't really. Oh wait, yeah, I can. I can run. I was gonna say you can't really move around like that, but I was just gonna suggest that if this door isn't naded off, a CT could just position right here for anybody coming out.
Mm-hmm.
And then another one could cover from the box over here, looking at the windows for anybody moving towards the site.
Yeah, but then I still have two options. I could go up on the scaffolding.
Yeah.
Or below it. And I don't have to give any sound cues for either of them.
Right, so I guess you would want to leave the door unguarded because that's a sound cue that they have to make for either the door or the window. And you would want one CT. You definitely want one CT on this box over here, is my thought process. Like, that's actually one of the reasons why I assume the stairs are here, so that you can more easily jump on this box. Because you can't. I don't think you can just crouch jump onto it. Oh, you can. Okay, never mind. So yeah, you can crouch jump on it. You can also just get a quicker rotation onto it through the staircase. And then reasonable. Yeah, there's a ton of off angles and weird gimmick plays you could do. Like,
okay.
I actually like that though. That's pretty cool. I mean,
it reminds me of Italy.
Yeah,
like...
it might not be reasonable, but I like that you can do it. How did you even get on here?
From the chair, I guess. The chair's a little bit higher than the railing.
Well, now I'm on you, so it's easy. Yeah, if you could reliably do that, then... I mean, I'm not even sure if you would want to be in there, though, because good luck ever getting out. But that's like a pretty easy... I can watch window and
I can barely see you. Like, I wouldn't pay attention to that.
Yeah. So this is probably also not intentional. Maybe it is, but it's pretty busted if it is. Unless... No, yeah. I don't think there's ever a point where you'd be able to, like... Because this window does give you very basic line of sight into the shutters.
Oh, that's what the fountain is.
Is it? Yeah, I guess I could, if you...
I don't think so.
If I boost you up, yeah, you probably could do that, actually.
I would be very over-designed.
No, it's fine. There's a balance for all things, dude. It's probably possible to just get up onto the railing with one jump. But yeah, that is pretty intense.
There are a few really cool things. I like this, even though this here is really headshotty, and I don't like the fact that it is. But the fact that you can stand either under the roof and be flash safe for any high flashes, or be on top of the roof and get a different angle onto certain areas.
Yeah, I think if visibility was better,
stuff like that.
Then
the
upper part would be more possible.
There are a bunch of nice places where you can also the stairs that you mentioned to quicker get up on to those crates here.
Yeah,
is fun. Like a bunch of jumping puzzles are pretty fun actually on this map. I don't know if the umbrella boost is intentional.
It does seem very weirdly specific, yeah. Another thing is that I guess we didn't really talk about is that this concrete over here, you could...
Oh.
There's actually a little angle that's created by the cover. And you're brighter than 1,000 suns, Oof. So I can obviously easily see you there. Like, we can trade spaces so you can see what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So... I think he should just have some lights over here strung up in the second floor or something.
Yeah.
Because you can't even walk in that area anyway, so... I wonder what this is for. Is this a lurk? Like this thing here? Or is that just extra shit to constrain the...
Maybe to direct you to the...
To the ladder.
Ladder.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's not like you can boost up onto it. I mean, not that you would want to anyway. There's a ladder right there, but... I'm a little disappointed at the lack of angles and for wall bangs and stuff, but that's just... There's nothing obvious, I guess, so there might be some other stuff that people can discover, but...
The texture here, though, it looks like... Just straight through.
Oh, yeah. This is probably completely bangable. But...
Did I break something?
You probably broke some shit on the clock that had some glass on it or something.
Oh.
So yeah. I mean, I don't necessarily mind this map, but I do feel like maybe like you said, that there's not really that much to fight over because of the timings and the line of sight on the
Yep.
T's coming out here means that you actually can't contest this at all unless you count on the T's not looking here. You can't even really throw a flash anywhere as far as I can tell. That
And
wouldn't
it's basically
be transparent.
two parallel paths for the T's too. Like they're just on the opposite side of the map. I feel like there's not much variation in gameplay, even though on the other hand you have so many options to get into the site, which might be overwhelming to CTs.
Well, judging by how much gameplay is created on this path over here with the ladder and the window and the door, like I wonder if maybe even there needs to be a exit over here at all. Like this path doesn't really seem like it's very like it doesn't like if this provided you with some sort of line of sight to control the other side, then suddenly this, like, imagine if I could have a line of sight onto this area, so I could I could rush there as a T to try to hold any CTs aggressing, or I could rush there as a CT to try to like get a good angle there. I feel like that would open up a lot more. It would obviously require a bit of restructuring on the map. Like you'd probably have to move this opening further down to the left to be in more neutral territory. But then suddenly there's something to fight for over here. It just doesn't feel like there's much that this area provides impact for. Beyond it being another exit, you know?
In addition to that, I would also like suggest closing that route down here, because that gives CTs this entire area down here where we are right now to play around with and get different angles onto the high ground positions. Yeah,
so that way it's like you're consolidating a bit more space on this high ground over there and the line of sight angle that I was talking about, and you're allowing CTs to play the low ground angles if they want to get aggressive in their posture without actually pushing enemy territory. They can just like fully utilize that, and I think it also is more interesting for retakes in that sense too as well, or post plans or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know how you would. Yeah, that's another thing. I don't know how you would plant the bomb without eliminating CTs first. I don't see a scenario where that plays out.
I guess it depends on where the CTs are. Like if a CT, like you probably are getting onto the bomb site after killing at least one, so the other one would have to be like pushed up in T territory for you to safely plant, because you don't know where they are. Like you could plant maybe back here, like where the flag is. You could plant underneath that, and that would protect you from window, from both of the scaffoldings.
Yeah.
And depending on which angle you sighted on, maybe you could also get it. I guess you could choose to like expose yourself more to scaffolding to plant safely from the door as well. But yeah, there's not really any sight cover itself, which might be a problem for actually planting the bomb. Like you remember Dupa, the map where we were looking at a couple days ago. There's so much sight cover on that, but I think one thing that it led to is generally you had a better idea of like where to plant under certain circumstances depending on spacing of your enemies. Classic flower pot boosts.
Favorite.
Yeah, I like all the platforming and the different things that you can do with movement. I think there's some really interesting ideas there, but...
Oh no.
Are you stuck?
No, I'm not stuck, but I'm a tree.
You are a tree. Camo. This is the real big brain thing to be looking at.
This is what Counter-Strike is about.
Yeah. This is what we want. This is what we look for. I don't know, man. Yeah. It seems like a map that with a little bit of changes could definitely be pretty good though. Like I think he's got some sort of basis for it, and he's clearly thought about like moving around and stuff and giving the player options. But I do feel like maybe in execution, some of his ideas were not like he didn't He gave the player such a wealth of options in some cases that it overwhelms the other team, but also minimizes the worth of some of the lesser used options. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if you give the player so many different tools, they're naturally going to gravitate towards the ones that are most effective. And so you get diminishing returns for adding more tools if they're just not as good as the some of the other ones, you know? So you want to make sure that you have like striking a balance of sorts. So what's up, Rolled? Welcome.
Hello, Rolled.
I'm assuming that's how you say your name, by the way. It'd be really embarrassing if this whole time I was like Rolled and it's actually Roald or some other name. All right. Yeah, I guess we'll pop over to the next map.
Sure.
Oh, is it actually Roald? Roald. Could have corrected me anytime, but that's all right. My map crashed. Or my CSGO crashed. Yeah, that makes sense. Ronald, Roland.
Just call.
I like
just
those
call him Roro.
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 So this map is called Enclave. And as soon as CSGO finishes loading my map, my map list, I'll be able to actually host it. But I wanted to say briefly.
Started through. Oh yeah, you need
that.
Because of me.
Wait. Okay. Yeah, we'll just play at wing mode. I wanted to say briefly that Enclave is the name of an old. I don't even know if you would call it an RPG. It's more like a hack and slash game on the Xbox and the PS2, I think, that I played long time ago. And that's my story for the day.
So you have a emotional connection to this map already.
At some point I replayed it, and I realized it was not nearly as good as my my nostalgia would lead me to believe. For some reason, I feel so much more fluid right now than I did before. I wonder. I didn't check my FPS on the previous map.
They were pretty low generally.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's something I should keep more of an eye on.
At this vent area that we were talking about earlier, I dropped down to 70.
Oh,
and
wow.
Now I have 370.
Yeah, mine's no problem over here personally. I do appreciate somebody's had a boo boo.
Is this how we got in? We killed the elevator and then
yeah, we just listen, man.
We just stayed the night in this hotel, then killed the guard. Oh no, that's a fire hazard. Where was that?
What?
Do you just see that?
What happened?
The lamp was smoking, or did you shoot?
No, it's because I stabbed it.
Oh, you stabbed it. Okay.
Yeah, apparently that makes it smoke. I don't know. Is that normal in Counter-Strike?
I don't know. I've never seen that.
Hey, but if you want to see an epic Source Engine moment.
Yes.
You can't really tell. But if you move back and forth from left to right, it exposes because of the dust from the wall.
Yeah.
Smokes are fucking broken in this game.
Classic.
Okay, so pretty
right
small
off
map
the
it looks
bat,
like.
Yeah. And right off the bat, the spawn is a little bit claustrophobic with these narrow.
I feel like it's a bit
exits.
odd that we would both have to either fall in line. Like if we both wanted to go left, then I guess one of us would have to go behind the other. That feels a bit odd. Yeah, this is by bigtryguy. Enclave by bigtryguy.
I like this though.
We're gonna take a look. Already some verticality.
Yeah, and you can like throw stuff through here.
Listen, I don't know too many women that would be Hey, I caught that. I almost did that one. I feel like you can probably long jump this one. If I knew how to do that.
Try to cheat my way through it.
There you go.
Yeah, but that thing here is blocking me. Probably also blocks nades. Oop, yep. Just needed myself. Yeah, but I kind of like the shape here. Usually, I really dislike U-shapes. But here works very well because they're breaking up the wall with just a little hole.
Yeah, you can also use it for visibility. And I mean, obviously, I could just boost you as well.
Yeah, and they also keep it open enough to throw nades around the corner, basically. So I don't mind it.
Wait, can you get boosted up here? Onto Big Blue? No?
Nope.
Would be a dirty lurk spot. Where's CT spawn? I'm not actually sure. The spawn fields are not highlighted. And my bots got destroyed.
There's a map command that show spawn point. Map _ show point spawn point.
So there's 5 or 6 spawn points for CTs. Wait. How do I turn it off?
It disappears after a while.
Oh, okay. Seems a bit odd that, wait. Okay, you can just walk through this. Dude, the bomb site has some crazy cover. Holy moly.
I think it disappeared.
Doesn't appear to be. I don't want to look at that. Oh man, it's still happening.
I'll try one. Maybe it shows for 1 second then.
No.
Broke the server.
It's over.
Well, I'm sorry.
I'll just look up the command real quick. Will be hidden after 60 seconds.
Oh, so we have to live with that for a minute.
Yeah, I guess so. Okay. Well, it would have been less if I hadn't gotten impatient, but you know. So there's a couple of different routes here. This actually feels almost like you've taken a 5v5 bomb site approach, like approaches, but combined them all to a single bomb site, if you know what I mean. Because there's a lot of different ways to go. Like you can go up there and jump down, but there's also this room over here that will lead me directly to a parallel line of sight with where the CTs can go. And then there's up here, which is pretty open because there's no cover. So as soon as you walk out here, you can just jump onto the site as well.
A lot of the spaces remind me of Call of Duty maps.
Yeah,
Not
somebody
in a
was
bad way
commenting that about
necessarily.
one of the maps I recently analyzed, that some maps feel a little bit more TDM-like from Call of Duty. I don't have that much experience with those games, so I don't actually know. Can I boost you up onto this? No.
Nope.
What about here?
Yes.
And can you jump from there to there? Epic.
Yes.
Yeah, so there's a lot of vertical cover, not a whole lot of chest level, though. So I don't imagine you would actually want to stay on the site for retakes, because there's pretty much nothing to protect you. I mean, there's some, like... This would be like a safe plant here. From the CT-sided stuff, but they could still come out over here and get you. They'd have to swing out pretty far, though. So this is like a 2-man plant map, I think. Like, if you have both T's alive, you can plant pretty safely without worrying too much.
I'm not sure about that, actually. Given that we, again, have an abundance of entrances to the bomb site itself. You can come from this direction. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, but the thing I'm thinking of is you don't have to worry about CTs being on the site almost ever, I think.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Because that, like, again, I don't think you
'Cause
actually
you don't want to be there.
Yeah, you don't want to be on the bomb site unless you have to be, basically. So, like, a CT might want to be on the barrels behind here, like where you are, right?
Mm.
And holding for the right, and then the left CT. By the way, those are not going away, so I don't know what's going on there. But the left CT, I don't know where you would want to put the left CT, or like the CT on the other path. Maybe he would want to be over here, taking aim duels with that upper area that you jumped out of earlier. I don't know.
Yeah, that's tough. That's a tough duel though, because you can peek. One can peek on the upper and one on the lower, and you can't kill both at the same time.
Right. So would you want to be holding for a more even angle like this, and then
or
like,
even further back?
Yeah.
Here, if I miss my shot, I can pull back and play the side, or even loop around the entire way.
Yeah.
So I would
it
play
seems
very
CTs would
defensively as a CT.
Yeah. And I guess you could like jump spot or something. Although I don't think that actually is a jump spot, yeah. If you want a jump spot, you pretty much just have to do it like this. Oh, thanks. I thought I discovered a magic trick. Oh, I see. So the T's, or whoever's on this side, they can jump up on this and jump over. But not the other way around. Favoritism.
Okay, so looking at this map now, I feel like this isn't even an engagement point here.
Yeah, because the CT spawn
T's would already be up here.
Yeah. Which
is
kind of
kind of
saps at the...
disappointing.
Yeah, it kind of... This is like one of the more interesting areas of the entire map,
Yeah.
so...
The other one is very interesting, though. Like, you can try to have this duel on 2 heights. Maybe do something cheeky like that. I don't know if you can see.
Yeah, I can
anything
still
of
see
me.
your back. Let me go from the upper angle. I think from the upper angle it's even more obvious, yeah. So... Plus, I think the CTs on this map are the ones with the backpacks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they've got some of the... They've got, like, weird shit sticking off of their back. They got the crowbars and stuff, so...
I generally enjoy the architecture of the map, though.
I feel like its theme is nice because it's like reusing Dust 2 assets and stuff, but it's not the same color scheme, so you get a nice contrast.
And I feel like I always have enough space to maneuver around without feeling super open, except for maybe up here. But I guess that's fine.
It's a different flavor compared to the lower site part.
Yeah.
Like the lower half or whatever the lower entrances are much more closed off, where you have to enter between one of the 2 arches.
And despite most of the routes being corridors, it doesn't feel corridory. It feels fairly open and natural, actually.
I wonder a bit about, like, presumably you can't get up there from here. Yeah. I wonder a bit about the wisdom of making it so, like, some areas do feel like areas like that where it's very clearly just a corridor. I do wonder a bit about the wisdom of that. Although that position that you were just in could also be a really sick hold.
Yeah.
Although you do move really slowly. So you could either hold like the T side or the CT side, sort of main entrances, if you will, ground level ones. I wonder if the CT one is even that interesting though.
I think it's just for sniping, to have long range engagements.
Yeah, true. I feel like other than like you could probably turn this, like you could probably have this still be here, but this be a window.
Mm-hmm.
Because I actually think it's more interesting for CTs to have to go from the left or the right if they want to get onto the site. And it being a window offers a bit less worry for Ts to plant or CTs to defuse, because it's like one less angle they've got to worry about actually being, what do you call it? Like actually having enemies come from. Like, yeah, they could still shoot you from there, but you could smoke it off, and then they can't like actually push through it. And then you still preserve the aspect of a gunfight, but you play it with a little bit more elevation, and you also have one less angle to worry about for maneuvers and rotation. So I think that's probably better. I do agree as well that this area over here that you were talking about earlier, it's a pretty rough angle to try to hold for CTs, to the point that I don't think they would even want to. This is an engagement point based on timings, but it's not something that favors the CTs or like is even the split. Like you'd need, I think, a decent amount of utility, and I actually haven't checked the skyboxes. So.
Yeah, like if you play it utility-wise, you can smoke it off pretty easily because it's so narrow.
I'll get it one day. Alright, never mind. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out like how you would line it up anyway.
Smoke up off the upper.
Yeah. Without being exposed to some other rush. I guess it would be something like this. Oh, I almost did it there. I don't know where yours went. Yours went too high. Mine barely missed again, SMH. Alright, I think I found it, but it's a pretty annoying lineup. Oh, never mind. Fuck, dude. You probably have to throw it from spawn then. You get the angle right. Yeah, neither one of those hit. So there's some lineup, but it's from spawn most likely. Too low. Slightly too low. Fuck. That was brutal. It almost worked. Yeah, so I don't actually know what the lineup would be, but if you smoke that off, I guess you smoke off lower because it's more easy to do, and then you just aim higher. Like, although that's probably, ironically enough, the actual solution to smoking upper. But if you smoke lower, then you only have to worry about upper anyway.
Yeah, I gotta be careful though, because there's a pretty quick one way if you smoke too deep.
Yeah. So I guess you'd probably want to smoke a little bit more shallow if you were just aiming for gunfights, but if you're trying to get map control, that's when you would probably want to smoke deeper so that you can push with it. But the other thing is, like, you're never gonna... I feel like you never want to push as two men because of the nature of the map. As CT, you never want to push as two men.
No, because it actually plays pretty symmetrical, so...
Yeah. So you always want, like, one guy to be defensive or at least still on his side. Yeah. And so any play that you do, like, at most he can throw a flash for you and then get into his own position. You know what I mean?
Getting map control as a CT is not very important. It's like...
Right, yeah, but it's more about knowing where the T's are going to come from.
Yeah.
Interesting stuff, though. And I do think that the ideas that we had for, like, the window for sniping and stuff, probably a good idea to implement, but other than that, I'm not actually sure if there's anything I would change. Maybe finding a way so that you don't have to jump to get up here, because that's a very small detail, but it does mean that,
Yeah.
you know.
I wish that this part here was more into the gameplay area, because I think it is an interesting element that you can use in multiple ways.
I'm so certain
and it's
that
fairly
you can
unique.
make that jump if you do it right, but it's not very consistent. Because I'm so close without doing anything other than crouch jump. But anyway, I digress. I guess if you hit a hop, it's possible. Yeah. Too bad Valve hates hops.
But it's pretty hard to hop with 160 ping.
Yeah, pretty hard to hop with Valve's neutering of the movement mechanic. What is this then? Okay.
You can't get up there. I already tried.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if there's much else to say about this, but you know, while it's not anything like the game that I played that had the same name, it's an alright map. Makes sense. Shall we see what's up next?
I like it. Yeah, sure.
Now this is a map. It also looks to be a hostage rescue, so I'll have to.
Sounds like a ship. I don't know.
Yeah.
What's Frigate?
Frigate is a type of
right?
ship, yeah. Like a heavy gunboat style thing.
Don't forget the plan.
I'm ready to be disappointed.
Why?
Is it gonna be a ship, or is it just named that way?
Oh, did you see when I was doing my stream the other day? And it was like, but you know, Oyster, everybody's favorite aquatic map, and then it's just some fucking train yard. Admittedly, that was a pretty cool map, but
yeah,
it was still funny. Like,
I watched the one today.
Yeah.
Of your stream.
Oh shit! Don't shoot that.
Oh, I remember that map. I saw that on someone else's stream.
This one?
Mm-hmm.
I shot that pencil container and it flew at me at Mach 5, so some spooky stuff can happen here. Man, this is a wingman map. Holy moly. Jesus Christ. What is going on here? I was actually a big fan of Shipped, so this will be interesting. First time I've played a map on a boat.
Is Ship the one from Cat Food?
Yeah. It's the first time I played a map that was on a boat since then. So. See if that's...
I already hate the doorways.
They feel very... well, they do force you to move up. I mean, at least it's not like a...
And they're very narrow. You need to hit them exactly.
I haven't had as much of an issue, but I know what you're saying. They do feel... It feels like you might need to widen them both visually and also in actual gameplay. Oh yeah, I just had the problem. Though I was a little way off, but whatever. So where do CTs spawn on this map? This map has a ton of vertical.
I'm already lost.
Yeah, that happened to me too.
Where's our start?
It's in that room with the pencils. I just took a lot of damage from falling a very mild amount of...
A room with the pencils. I guess that's it.
Yeah. This
one. We have a topological world map.
Yeah, dude.
I don't know if I would use that for...
For navigation?
For navigation.
Well, at least we know how high the terrain that we're crashing into is, you know? So there's that. So... Hostage rescue zone is the same thing as CT spawn, I think. Also, if you fall from that, you take like 30 damage. So it's pretty rough. So this is the spawn, and I guess this is the rescue zone. The red marker, unless it's. Oh no, I guess it's probably over here. I don't know what this red marker is then. Must just be details. So you can go on a lower approach, which will take you eventually to some area I've never been. And then you can go up a staircase. Wow, dude, wow.
Wow, that's very confusing.
Oh, boy.
It goes very straight for a long time, or straight for a very long time is what I'm trying to say. And then it makes you move backwards.
I'm trying to build a map in my head, but it's not working.
I can't.
There's also a very clean vessel. But that's
I like
probably
the props, though.
Yeah. Missile launchers.
Very nice.
I can't seem to fit through the windows.
Ooh, that's an angle.
What'd you find? Oh. Classic. Oh, shit. We have spinning. Also, I have the skybox or something in the water. That's pretty cool.
Do have spinning radar. Oh no, that's so disappointing. The windows are just low enough to not.
You can't. I know. It's pretty frustrating. Also, you can't break these.
Yeah, why can you break these when you can jump through them?
For the ability to shoot them, I guess. Hey, come over here. I want you to tell me if this happens to you too. Just move your mouse up and down and look on the water.
Oh yeah, can see some dirt.
No, that's the ship. I don't know if that's something that you can see on your screen.
What?
If you look at my stream, you'll see it. It's pretty obvious.
Yeah, I'm looking.
That's the ship.
Oh, for me it's just a dirt texture with roughly the same shape.
I think because I went out of the map or something, it broke, and now it's part on that. Maybe that's just a thing that happens sometimes. It's pretty weird. I don't know. Wild. Yeah, this is an entry of the contest.
Let's try to figure this out.
Yeah, okay. This looks like there's a vent or something that you might be able to drop down. At least from outside, but I don't know if that's real. No, it doesn't look like it. So I think the biggest issue is figuring out the lower side and how it transitions to upper. So you have this really long rotation lower. You've got a boat over here. Okay. So the only way that you can go as CTs is like through the fucking belly of the beast here, or you can go above it. So I guess this is to incentivize... Oh, there's like a path up here now. You can go if you wanted to just make a beeline for the bridge. So this is to incentivize, like, you've got long-range, mid-range, and short-range engagements, which is nice. But I do feel like maybe it was accomplished at some cost, you know what I mean? At the cost of being able to know what the fuck is going on. Because there's, like... This is realistic, but not good for CS, you know what I mean? Like, the fact that we spin around. Trying to descend. I feel like maybe that should have just been converted into a ladder or something. Or maybe a staircase for one floor and a ladder for another or something.
I feel like we've spent almost, what is it, almost 10 minutes on this map now. And I cannot draw the minimap for you.
Well, the minimap doesn't even really tell you that much anyway. Because
I mean, I couldn't put down the layout on paper.
Yeah. That would be a fun game show. Run around a map for 10 minutes and then try to draw the layout from memory. So this ladder has another ladder that's parallel to it. And... yeah, like I was saying, though, this is like the long-range, short-range engagement stuff, and I guess you could boot... Can I boost you up there? Okay, that's weird.
I mean, I kind of like it, actually.
It is pretty cool, but I do wonder...
Cool dynamic. Because, let's assume you have a sniper here that just holds this angle. You can get boosted up without me seeing it, and then dropping into the middle that.
Yeah, I don't take fall damage.
If this and that, but
There's a sound cue
That's
associated with it. Yeah, I think the issue is just figuring out where to go.
yeah, it's very narrow. Everything's narrow.
And there's so many doors and...
Mm-hmm. I wish some of the rooms would be combined into larger rooms,
Yeah.
which again would kind of break the theme a little bit, but does, for example, this room here where I am right now, does it really have to be separated by a doorway? Can it be one larger room where you have the computers here and then the pencils here?
Yeah, I think the only reason why it's separate is so that we've got... I mean, this is just a hallway, though. Like, there's not even anything on this side. So this could also be combined.
No.
Yeah, I think it's kind of giving poLemin a headache, too. So... Why is there a... I don't even know what animal that is. Canada's something different. A badger, maybe?
A walrus? No.
No,
Beaver?
it's got a... Yeah, a beaver, yeah.
2v3.
Well, the most important aspect is that you can die by falling off the edge. I was trying to actually surf there, but I don't think it's possible. Ironic. Why can't you surf on the side of the boat, dude?
Surf.
Oh, yeah.
Surf on the sea map.
Yeah, surf on a boat.
Oh no, I'm stuck.
What'd you do?
Ooh. Jumped up here. Quite worked.
I do feel like another aspect of this map is that a lot of the map feels visually very similar, which doesn't help.
Oh, you can get up there alone, too. Wait, I just did it. God damn it. Just did it, I promise.
Well, it's probably this, no? You probably just jump on the railing?
Yeah, if you want to be that guy.
But you're saying you did it without anything?
Yeah.
The problem is you can't get up there safely alone.
Yeah. There. God damn it.
I feel like you're doing it via a bug or something. That doesn't seem reasonable. Although I have no idea how you're
Don't take that away from me.
Yeah, I have no idea how you're doing it, so... But it looks like you're on an invisible piece of collision or something. Isn't there a show collision thing somewhere? Some command?
No, you can only display clips. Player clips.
Oh, okay. Map could maybe use some colors to help you orient it. Yeah, something to immediately show you, like, I know where I am on the map. Especially for newcomers. I predict that even though this map is a cool theme, most players are just going to play it once and be like, what the fuck? And then they might not even finish a few rounds or anything. Just because it's really confusing.
No.
I do think some more visual work, and like you were suggesting, to combine the rooms would be really nice. This map also doesn't really do too much to address the issues with conventional map design for the hostage mode, where the CT spawns super far away and have to lug the hostage super far back to the hostage rescue zone. And obviously, like the age-old adage of CTs have the more expensive guns, therefore they should be the ones to have the defender's advantage to offset that. And the fact that that doesn't happen in hostage maps, right? Like that's still pretty heavily at play here. So
weirdly enough, with this map, I don't mind the backtracking so much.
Well, what I mean is, it's not really about like whether or not it's a bad thing for the player to do or not. It's the fact that T's have so many opportunities to get them even after they get the hostage. They literally have to walk across the entire map from spawn and back to satisfy the to play for the objective as opposed to playing for elimination, which I think is probably the main issue with if you had to like condemn the map based on anything. But I do think that it's got an interesting premise, and the theme could definitely use some work. Some more integration, but it's a nice like basis. I also think that maybe you could do more with the layout from like just from the fact that like there's all of this space on the sides. Like this is something that I actually wanted out of Shipped as well that we didn't get. Like imagine if there were like on Shipped it's a bit easier because it's like a cargo container thing. But imagine if there were like cargo containers off to the side or like some lifeboats or something with ladders or like something that allows you to expand the map outline basically. I think that would be really cool. And I think this is also something that Valve should have done on Vertigo is like have like scaffolding, like the painter scaffolding that they use that can go up and down. Maybe it can't go up and down in that situation, but something interactive and outside of the map bounds that allows you to get around the fact that essentially the layout has a hard limit to it.
Yeah.
There's some creative things you can do while keeping it in theme. That would be nice to see.
I mean, on Vertigo, they have these swinging beams on a crane in the backdrop of A, but you can't interact with them.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
When the ship will be scaled up like twice the scale, it will help a lot in defining the paths and creating more open spaces rooms. Is that something that the author has planned to do? Because I do think that there should be a bit more like horizontal pathways. Like right now it's very long and straight.
Long, straight, and parallel.
Yeah.
Like, there's no variation.
There's very, very little difference between which path you choose to take as a CT. Or even as a T in terms of where to guard. So, but I think there's some interesting ideas here. It's just that it's not the easiest thing to figure out. You know what I mean? So.
I also hate that I get stuck on every
door.
Door, yeah, just because I'm fat. Can you get inside there?
Yep. I wouldn't recommend looking while you're in here, but just because of texture resolution. This is definitely a fuck you CT spot, you know?
Yeah.
What I mean? Like, you make it all the way over here after your long trek, and then you just get gatted. Very restrictive in terms of space, but really cool when you can pull it off. Yeah, and I also think that you can find out, like I was saying earlier, there's ways to work around the thematic restrictions with, well, essentially to offset or attenuate the restrictions without actually breaking the theme. And it's kind of on you as the mapper who selected the theme to try to do that. So, yeah, I'm interested in seeing if this map ends up getting updated. Once again, this was Frigate by Haj. Cool guy. We moving on to number 5.
Let's do it. I really like the props on the ship map.
Yeah. Frigate had some pretty cool things going on there.
Also, like the outer parts could have been a little bit more detailed. It was basically just one texture slapped onto the geometry.
Let's go, my brothers.
Oh boy. Now this is a map, mini map.
Ooh. Hello, minimap.
Yeah, buddy.
So, the terrorist plan was sketched out by a 5-year-old.
Yeah. Careful. What does careful mean?
Oh. Sorry, I need to be careful. Don't.
Doesn't deal that much damage.
Look, they have a danger, like in, what's it called? Environmental hazard, and then they give me something interesting to look at right next to it.
Yeah, we haven't really seen environmental hazards in CS maps, so it's kind of cool. The most we get is like shit that makes you die if you fall off the map or something. Oh. Aha! You have discovered a secret passage.
Oh, that feels so 90s FPS.
Yeah, the filter on my screen is pretty epic as well. Did you start drowning by any chance?
No, I'm good.
Yeah, that's way too long. If that was like a smaller passageway, maybe. But as it stands, that is, no. That's a no. What the fuck? What a
Oh, there's
map.
water everywhere. Ow! Okay. No, that's mean.
Wow, let's hold on, let me get over there. I like my FPS going down by 100 every now and then.
Yeah. Right? There's...
Dude, even if you just touch this. Well, not from that angle. I was trying to stand on the box.
There's a ladder leading up into death. Why are there cars?
In case you need to get a ride out of here, dude.
God, I can get up here. Did you do that?
Yeah. When you break the glass and push the button, it plays a clown noise. The button is for an emergency spin bot. Dude, what kind of map is this? Oh yeah, I should have probably introduced this map. This is Exchange by SrVerataro, and it's got some stuff, man.
Yeah, I have the same problem as earlier. I cannot draw a picture of this map.
Neither can the map creator. I'll just let that one sink in.
Well, that's mean.
Alright, so we have something here, man. What is happening? Look at all the arrows. Can you plant on the any of these boxes or?
Here.
Oh yeah, you've got to read this cat picture real quick. It's much more important.
I like cats.
Wait, I can't even.
There are
plant
cats
here.
everywhere.
The fuck?
This is not the bomb site? No, that's not the bomb site. The cars are the bomb site. Isn't that weird? You see boxes and you're like, oh, that's a bomb site.
I also see a giant X. But I guess that's also in T-spawn, so whatever. Well, it's also, it doesn't help that, like, I could barely see that A on the minimap. So you must be on the ground. There's a money bag. Some moolah. So what is going on over here? It sounds like you blew something up.
Fuck?
What did you shoot?
I shot the door and you fell over. Can you restart the map and go up here?
We will drive them from our land.
Where is it?
Here. You need to walk up on it.
Oh, I press E on it. Okay.
You just kick it open.
That's kind of epic. So wait, is that the fast rotation?
It's not very sneaky.
No, but that's okay. So what, we climb up this ladder, jump through, bam, plant the bomb. I guess we're Duke
That's
Nukem
a
or
plan.
something. What a disaster. I like how there's an arrow over here, but you can't even get onto it without jumping on another
There's
box.
so many errors. And all of these thin walls, it kind of reminds me of this Max Payne level with all of the, what's it called? Like just facades of buildings, but not actual buildings behind them. thin movie props.
Yeah, it's like a movie set, I was gonna say. That's sort of like what this is, I guess.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time putting my finger on what kind of theme that is. All over the place, I feel like.
So the CTs can come up to the side of the door very quickly as well. This is almost like a pop dog area on train or something. Except it's way too large. But you see, you know, you jump up here and then I guess you would probably want to crawl up there, like shift walk up the ladder.
Mm-hmm.
And that would allow you to take a position over by the door, but you're still going to be slower than the T's if you do it that way. I don't know. This is a weird fucking map, dude.
I don't think I have the mental capacity to fully understand it.
Dude, well, I keep forgetting about that psychotic water thing. Like, this is actual insanity. Like, why? Why? What have I done to deserve this? Oh yeah, that's why I thought this was the bomb site too, because of that.
Yeah, it fits the timing, right?
Yeah. Considering you have to wait 8 years to actually get out of the water. What a map. I feel like when people diverge this far from like traditional designs, they probably aren't looking for feedback that is based in traditional designs, if you know what I mean. So I'm not even sure how like valuable feedback would be for somebody who like the map maker.
I don't know, to me it feels like a beginner's map, to be honest. Like, it really much feels like, oh, I found this cool prop, let me put it into the map. Oh, I found this cool prop. Like, there's no coherent theme.
Well, yeah, that's for sure. But apparently
that's a cool position. Look at this plant.
I am planting the bomb.
Oh, okay. Reasonable. Yeah, so...
But yeah, it's really hard to give any proper feedback because I don't even understand what's going on.
Well, I think I've sort of came up with a strategy. So you'd have one player playing CT, like one CT player would be watching the fucking fountain of youth over there, as well as this general rotation. So they would be like in a position with these boxes, and I think you would have to make some sort of sound cue to come out of the water. So he'd probably be mostly directing his aim towards this, something like this, or maybe something further back. And then, watch out, you'll die if you touch the stuff again, unless you have God mode on. You can also do this. I didn't even see this before. So I guess you would have to surf. You could surf along it from that angle as well.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which is kind of cool, but at the same time, why? I just end up hurting myself.
Yeah, the barbed wire and shit over here, I'm not really understanding why. Like, this is a slower rotation by all accounts than the door, so I don't know why you have to hurt yourself to get to it as a T. Like, what even is the rotation from this spot?
Oh, there's another cat picture in the barbed wire.
Oh, poor cat.
I need an op. I can't get into the barbed wire anymore.
Oh, I can drop you one. Hold on.
Got it. Strength.
Yeah, this is a map with a sense of humor that I don't understand. I am a boomer now.
Oh, another cat. And Old Inferno.
Is that Old Inferno?
Yeah. It's a...
Yeah, it looks like a CT spawn or something.
Yeah. Damn, where is it? It's somewhere in southern... In the south of the States, or Southern California or something like that.
Really?
There's this weird monastery thing.
Everybody keeps...
Or
I mean,
missions,
it has
some
all
kind
that
of mission.
Italian stuff on it, so...
Yeah, but actually a lot of the references are from there and from Mexico.
Interesting.
Which is weird. The old one,
Yeah.
not the current one.
Well, I'm at a loss. Like I said earlier,
Yeah.
I think one CT goes up
Same.
the ladder, and one CT holds from this position down here. And that's it. That's all. That's the only analysis I can give you. Wild fucking map. But we walked around and saw cat pictures, so I hope the author is happy.
Ooh, that's the hatchet machine there, apparently. What if I shoot it? I was expecting to be shot in the head.
It just lights up. Or no? It's fine. I think we just move on to the next one after that one. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
How are we doing on time? We've been going for a little under 2 hours. We still good to go?
I'm good.
Okay. Let me know if you want to do last call and we can do extraction.
Yeah.
But for now, we'll move on to Porto by Narris.
Porto. Italian for door. Or is it porta? Fuck, that's embarrassing now.
Well, I don't know Italian, so I couldn't tell you.
Oops, sorry, wrong team. Okay, we have the Albanian flag. Oh no, it's not the Albanian flag, but it looks like the Albanian flag.
Looks like it's missing something in the middle. We got some very interesting stairs.
Boat is moving a lot.
Don't look at it, or it will
Okay,
hypnotize
it doesn't
you.
look quite finished from the get-go.
Yeah, I think it's just the way that the architecture is laid out. Like, there's not a custom trim for any of this stuff. This is Porto by Narris. Narris being the only one linked to it. So yeah, I guess it was a one-man job. This makes me think... Hey, wait. Oh.
Like Lisbon.
No, never
Is it
mind.
Porto? Porto. It's Portugal.
They want me to Molotov this, I guess? Wasn't sure if that was destructible or not. Well, we have a very well-defined bomb site, and they're kind of doing something interesting, similar to train. And I'm not saying that just because of trains, but because they have this like B-bomb site train thing going on, where you can sort of play back after you planted. Although cover's kind of poor. How does that make you feel? They've got Optimus
Anxious.
from Overpass, and they've got Train from Train. And they've got somebody sprayed an L over here. A sofa? This is the camping spot from Inferno, so they've got that down too. It's pretty cool. That door is not appropriately sized. You can, if you move back up the stairs, you can see. Yeah.
Oh, and a German menu in Portugal.
There's a danger zone pay to win door. So I guess one T goes to the trains and the other T goes through mid, or one T goes through mid and the other T goes through the apartment. Well, basically, you've got 3 different lanes of engagement.
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing the contact point is somewhere in the apartment itself. Assuming that CTs jump up.
Yeah, I have the same issue with the, what was it, Lazio map, where CTs spawn right at the bomb site, and they don't really need to push into the other routes of the map. They don't
Check
really
this
need
out.
to move.
I'm a CT, and I'm gonna go here.
Oh no.
How do you like that? It's pretty epic. So if you even wanted
That's
to
why
escape...
you buy helmets.
Well, yeah, but if you even wanted to escape and this was Molotovs, right?
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden I've got to
Oh,
crouch
no.
to get my fat ass out of there. Seems a bit odd. I don't know what this is doing in the middle of there, but I guess it's something.
Is there some kind of safe plant?
I can plant on there. Can I plant on the truck? Yeah. Safe plant would be... I can't do it from here.
No, you need to be behind that thing.
I can do it... Oh, there's like a bit of space. Yeah, I can do it from right here. I think this is a bug, though. It's not really safe, anyway. I could jump up on here, but that's also not safe. Or consistent. So yeah, I guess it's just in front of the truck. So you want this smoked off. Actually, you probably want that Molotov and this smoked off here. So that you can plant safely. Yeah, I guess that's better.
There's also not much cover to play around in the approaching routes. It's basically just corner to corner gameplay.
There's also not really much of a purpose to the whole, like, T-long. I feel like. But anyway, this is a super easy lineup for the smoke. And it covers you pretty well at the plant.
Mm.
So I think with a 2-man execute, you could probably do... Oh, that didn't work out. Need to aim higher. There's probably something that I can find real quick that will help me. I'm trying to smoke off the left side, basically. Yeah, there you go. That's your execute right there.
Whoa.
So I feel like that's pretty easy. You just two-man that. Although, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, you probably want a different lineup so that the other guy can smoke it with you, so... Actually, don't know what that would look like. I also don't know if this is exactly safe. I think maybe if you're...
I'll just be like...
Grenade! I'm throwing a grenade!
Oh, you're trying to find a, like, a safe nade plan or something? A nade for
No, I'm just playing around.
Oh. I was gonna say you could probably do that, and that would be a pretty solid nade to kill the planter.
Throwing smoke! Throwing smoke!
Utterly devastated. Yeah, I actually don't know where the other guy would go then.
Smoke!
There you go. Now you're fucked. Although, yeah, that's pretty brutal actually. If you wanted to try to plant there or defend against that. No, I think some interesting gunfights can happen on the site, but I'm not convinced about the approaches.
Yeah, I feel the same.
But I don't really know what would be the good, or what would be a good counter. So, or like change.
Smoke!
I kind of want to try.
Well, the thing is that CTs can just hang back in CT spawn and be just fine.
Yeah.
They cannot be outflanked. They just need to hold.
Smoke!
It's not very engaging to play around.
Yeah, CTs you're like hurry up and wait, and then Ts are like,
Yeah.
oh shit, what do we do?
Smoke!
I guess you throw that smoke to cover mid or something, but yeah, even once you're in mid, what can you do? Stand on this easel? Like,
Whoa.
I was just getting rid of the smoke. I just feel like there's nothing to do on the approach to the site.
Right.
Like you can like in a map like this, utility is super important because you just come out with some utility to essentially create cover that I don't necessarily know if it should be there, but
Yeah, but that what is in or ties into the point I made earlier that all of the approaches are basically corner to corner gameplay.
yeah,
Rather than having any half cover positions or cover that you can peek around from two sides. It's very, like, every angle feels very one-dimensional.
I do think that there's some pretty interesting flashes you can do, but that's pretty much true of every map. So there's probably more that could be done with going. I do like the diversity or whatever you want to call it, like the thematic distinctions between the three different pathways, but the fact that, like you were saying, there's not really a half wall. It feels like maybe, I think maybe on Wingman you might have some room for exploration where a bomb site is in somewhat neutral territory, but there's ways for the CTs to, or basically giving the CTs a decision is important because right now they don't have one because they already have all the valid map control that they would need. So,
and the best play is the least engaging one, where you just hang back and wait for T's to come.
I guess you could lurk here if you wanted to, if you wanted to be a real piece of shit.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. But again, that's not engaging whatsoever. So, well, a relatively simple map anyway. The difficulty here is that I don't see how you preserve much of this layout. Oh, this is weird. I don't see how you preserve much of this layout while there's like some piece of terrain that sticks out there. But I don't know how you preserve the layout without, like, and also fix the map, you know what I mean? like add value
Yeah.
to the areas. It does seem a little ingrained. I don't know if you have any suggestions for that, but it seems like it might be easier to sort of just start a new one, for lack of a better term. Some pretty neat architectural ideas, but
Like, this part with the trams is the most interesting.
yeah.
Because you have a little bit of cover you can play around. You can smoke the avenues off separately. There is some interesting gameplay here, but
Smoke!
as I said before, CTs don't really need to utilize that because they can just hang back. They have no reason to.
I'm planting the bomb.
Yeah, I don't have anything to add actually.
Yeah, I'm coming up short on things to say as well, so I guess we'll just move on.
Let's do one more and then the final one.
Okay,
Does that sound fine for you?
sure.
Now is the time. Go, go, go!
Shalash.
Shalash by Smith, of all names.
Let's go.
I spawned in a completely different area just a second ago, I think. Or maybe not. Maybe I was just facing something else. Okay, this is a map. There are some radar generation tools, right? I'm wondering why there's such a discrepancy for the radars.
There is, yes. But they're not like published by Valve. It's, like,
Yeah, they're
third-party
third party. There's one from the Simple Radar guy, I think. This is unreasonable. Got some custom player models, apparently.
Really?
Yeah. I don't think these are from
Oh yeah,
Valve.
that's what I'm downloading.
Yeah.
Balkan variant A phase 01.
I feel like these bricks over here are gonna pose a problem. It's a very simple layout on this one. I don't think this will take too long to break down.
Probably takes longer to download the player models.
Yeah, you see, that is seems to be an issue.
I wonder why they're not packed into the map. Why do you need to download them separate? And where from?
Oh, actually, sometimes I've had this problem where I'll be trying to download a map and I'll have to download it from the workshop manually and restart CSGO.
Oh, okay.
That might be happening. That's been happening more and more lately, and not even in maps that don't have any custom player models. At least
Yeah,
not to my knowledge.
it's stuck for me at 0%.
Yeah, it might be better to just close CS and start the like go into the workshop and find it. I can get you the link actually.
It will be much appreciated.
Brief technical error. We will be back soon.
Guess that's their way to get more subscribers onto their map.
Yeah, I don't think it's intentional.
No, I don't think so either. Can you? Yes.
I don't know if you can join without me restarting
Yeah,
the server.
seems to work.
Okay. I wonder what RF stands for.
Someone said in some other stream, I've seen that map on someone else's stream before, and someone said that RF stands for Russian Federation.
Oh, okay.
And in the description, it also says about other nodes made in Russia.
Huh. Got some Russian pride going on, I guess.
All right.
Hey,
Here we are.
You made it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay, that's where I spawned earlier. Felt like a completely different area. So, we spawn over here. Hostage is here. I don't know if the hostage changes place or not. Maybe they can be in one of these two rooms. But either way, I think they're always on the top floor. Though I could be wrong about that.
Oh, that's very tiny. CT spawn right there.
Yeah.
And I guess all of that is bangable too.
Yeah. Oh, you're not God mode? Yeah, just looking at the number of stars and little like bits that I have over here.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive.
So first of all, apart from the fact that it's very tiny and almost everything is bangable, what catches my eye immediately is that the top floor at least feels like it's very symmetrical, and all 4 rooms look the exact same.
Yeah, there's a bit of different cover and stuff, but I don't see how you would
they
keep...
tried to change it up with the little cover here in the middle, and then we have planks here, and the hostage here, and this is the spawn area.
There's a line of sight over here as well that we can use.
Oh.
But I don't know if it's even... I don't even know if it's possible to get up here, though. No, it isn't, so that's kind of a pointless thing then. So never mind. I thought that was like an intentional design decision, but you can't get up there, so... That's actually only a balcony for a player on the upper side to go and flank.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the rescue zone?
I guess by the smiley.
Yeah. So I guess in that sense, the balcony is used for that, to lurk out and try to pick off a CT that's going there, but not a whole lot of cover on the lower floor. And on the lower floor itself, so you can either go left, so from a CT perspective, you can go left lower, right lower, or up the ramp.
Mm-hmm.
Right lower, there's this window that you have to, unfortunately, crawl through. Left lower takes you to another room that will eventually take you to a ramp up to T spawn. And then there's like a lower mid over here that links the two. But yeah, this feels like very similar to the upper floor in a way.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't, if you showed me screenshots of the...
makes me uncomfortable.
What'd you say?
The couch with the sponge makes me uncomfortable. I don't know why.
It does feel a little odd. Harvey Weinstein.
it has that vibe for some reason.
Yeah. They call it a red room for a reason, I guess. I don't know.
And then it's like lit.
Yeah, I don't know.
In
It's a
red.
weird style of map. But if you showed me a screenshot from each room, I would not know which floor they were on, you know, besides the red
Right.
sofa, I guess, but
Terrorists win.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
no, it's fine.
They will remember us after
So, I don't know where we would go with this, actually.
I don't know, if I rush the windows, CTs must rush into the first floor immediately to get cover.
Yeah, maybe if somehow they silenced footsteps on the approach somehow, then the map would be more interesting in that regard, but I don't see how you make it happen.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm stressed out and we're not even playing the map.
you're stressed out.
Looking at it, but...
Yeah.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
What happened? That's unreasonable. The other thing is, like, what is the role of utility on this map? I guess from CT spawn, you,
Minimal.
like, throw a smoke the window?
Nope. Already there.
Yeah, even if you throw the smoke in immediately, you can just rush it, so I don't know. I guess it's spawn-based.
That's quite the angle too here.
I'm throwing smoke.
Oh,
I can
perfect.
see you back there. I can see anything over there.
Yeah, so the only way to avoid that would be to go up. I guess it's a be quick or be dead kind of map, and ops would probably be less than useful compared to SMGs and some other shit. And I guess, I don't know. I'm trying to look for any silver lining, but I'm not seeing much. It's an experimental map. There you go.
I guess I don't know. It again feels like one of these maps that can be super fun in like a setting where you don't take the game too seriously
Yeah.
and you just okay, let's have some fun.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a map that's not fun. It doesn't feel frustrating or anything. It just feels a little bit confusing, and it doesn't seem very strategical or tactical.
Yeah, it's an aim map or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
It feels like we should be able to go outside this house too. There's some
Yeah.
areas out there that would
Yep.
be pretty neat.
Very often, even like looking down here, the green building looks very interesting because it's that one splash of color that this map has,
Yeah.
but it's outside of the map.
Yeah, all the color is outside for some reason. In fact, I think if CTs started outside, that would be safer for them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I feel the same.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
I think if CTs started outside, then you had like maybe room extensions or something that would bring some parts of it out a little bit more, and then different areas.
Assume like you misbite or misbot or something like that. Or you like start a little bit late, like 2 seconds late into the round, and you're in the open here. If you would spawn on the other side, T's wouldn't notice if they rush forward.
Yeah. It feels like maybe this
Except
is one of
for-
those maps that's too compact. Like we've seen some maps that feel a little
Yeah,
too big.
it's
This is the
tiny.
opposite.
Tiny. Yeah, like if it was just this one side that you can run on, doesn't have to be the other one as well, but
Right. Yeah, and
Just
then you
one
could have the
passage.
shack be a sniping position or something. Like a CT or a T could like jump out from the back and have a little sniping position there.
when you can get up here into the second floor or something like that.
Yeah.
Man, I wish.
If only. Well,
And the stairs need to be clipped.
yeah, they're pretty. Wait, do you really have to like propel yourself into this box?
Yeah, you have to jump into it.
That's pretty stupid.
I look so dumb.
Yeah. That's CSGO at its finest, dude. question is... There we go. I found a lineup. Now imagine trying to jump your way back out. Oh no! Instant death.
Oh.
Really, the whole place should just be lit up.
That's what I
it's all
just
lit.
thought.
Yeah.
We need fire
Molotovs are banned
propagation.
in this map. Well, yeah, I think that's pretty much all I have to say anyway.
Yeah. I wish parts of the outside was playable, and it would make it so much more interesting immediately.
Destroyed.
Wrecked.
I agree, though. Outside being interesting, or being there, would be a pretty big deal. Pretty good. All right, we're moving on to what is essentially the de facto map, and my CSGO crashed before I could even tab back in. So hold on. Maybe it's because of those player models or something. We almost had it. I think this is the same number of crashes I had the first stream.
Don't blame me, please.
Well, I'm just saying I didn't get any when I was doing my own thing, so. Just gotta wait for Valve to allow me to get my map here. Search extraction, they show up with their fucking co-op map. Surely. What's up, Coachy? Came in just in time. To see the last map of the day.
Let's do this. Let's do this thing. Come on.
So this placed first, right? Extraction.
Correct.
Let's go. Let's go.
That guy's seam. Oof.
What happened?
Do you see the seam on his head? Or is it just on my settings?
It looks like it's supposed to be a hairdo, or that he's
Getting worse
wearing
the
a
further I
mask.
get away.
Oh, never mind. Yeah, it's definitely a seam. Oh,
What was that?
I don't know. You joined the counter-terrorist force.
No. I pressed 1 to pick up the AK. Okay, it works. Alright. Yeah, so this map plays first.
What's going on, Fnugz? Yeah, so this is extraction by Fnugz, or maybe it's Fnugz. I don't know how to say his name. MadsenFK and Andi. Shout out to them. One of the authors is in the chat. Engages unbreakable windows. I'm sure that's not the first map with unbreakable windows, but I'm calling it Engages forever. Because they have so many in that map. Alright, at least those ones redeemed it.
Oh,
Not
no.
these ones. Unbelievable. I wish I could go in here, not just because there's a bunch of wine in there, but also because.
It's just because of the wine.
No, yeah, I guess it is just because of the wine.
Oops, sorry.
Well, I guess we opened up one of those bottles early, huh? All right, so let's take a look at this layout here. We know this is a prestigious map based on its placement. So this is spawn. We've got A and B markers, so I assume that means that this is pointing to the extraction zone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm told that, okay, we can't jump off, much to my chagrin. I'm told that CTs can pick where they're going, or which spot they want to.
Correct. So how this map works is CTs pick up the hostage. So you have potentially, if T's decide to contest it, a little fight over the hostage here.
Right. Oh yeah, I imagine you could
and-
throw like a Molotov or something over here.
Well, there are certain ways or multiple ways to control this area generally. But you can also choose to just give it up and give control to the CTs. Anyway, if they pick up the
Just needed a little soundtrack.
as soon as they pick it up, they can choose to go to either of the extraction zones. One is here, and the other one is on the other side of the building on the rooftop. And as soon as they touch the zone, they call in the helicopter, which then needs to arrive, or needs time to arrive, and it's like 20 to 30 seconds, I would assume.
And then they need to stay
Something
in
like
the
that.
rescue zone when the helicopter's in.
No, they can go out again, but as soon as the helicopter is here, they need to go back in, and then the round is done, or the hostage is rescued.
Yeah, so what I mean is they touch it to activate it, but then they can move out.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So it's almost like you're having
So
a
they
retake.
don't
section.
need to stay in this confined area here
Yeah, yeah.
for that amount of time.
I don't hear the sound. Didn't spread that
Didn't
time.
spread.
There we go. Music to my ears. Alright, so... Listen, you gotta have something.
So that over there with the grill is the first extraction zone, and the other one, if you follow me, is up here on the rooftop, or the, what we call it, balcony area.
Oh, okay. So it looks like you actually only want to commit a few CTs to... you only want to commit a few CTs to actually taking the hostage, and then you want to commit the rest of them to having control over the sites, the rescue zones, which I think is a really neat shake
Yeah,
up on it.
so generally, like, I've played this map in Wingman 2 vs 2, and it's kind of stressful because there are so many pathways that
Yeah.
it almost feels like a...
It feels like a
Like we
wingman
talked
version
last
of this
time.
map would require only one rescue zone,
Yeah, exactly.
which means it's probably not a wingman map per se, as much as it is a... Like, I think this might actually end up being just perfectly fine as a 5v5 map.
Yeah, and they also did some tests. I don't know about any of the results of the tests, but it was also... I think it also says on the workshop that it's also viable for 5v5,
Yeah.
which makes a lot of sense, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of pretty intelligent decisions that went into both the layout and also the game mode ideas. I'm not sure how the timer would work for the helicopter part, but the fact that it's both about fighting over the hostage and then about fighting over the rescue zones, it helps to... Like, we were talking about phases of gameplay and when we were looking at Rift or whatever, and I think the same thing is true for this map. It's like, it helps to have a different sort of approach to that system.
Yeah, absolutely. Like,
And-
you can weigh enemies into a false sense of security by falling back and letting them get the hostage, stuff like that. Or you can just aggressively push and try to get control of the hostage right away.
I think that, yeah, as a 5v5 map, this has a lot of potential, for sure. I would say, even though it's kind of a meme, I actually think you might want to have more glass breaking. I was thinking that maybe this area over here, this little strip, could be a nice lurk spot if you break it from in here and then lurk out.
You can't.
Yeah, you can.
Oh, it's interesting.
I thought maybe
Because
you could also wrap, like, jump around or something, but the distance
One
is too
lower,
low.
you can do it in the kitchen area here.
Oh, okay, that's pretty cool. The kitchen area is pretty limited, obviously, but...
Yeah.
I also think it's kind of odd that... Wait. Unless... Is this the self-boost option?
Mm-hmm.
You have to jump onto the rock and
Well,
just the
maybe
right
not
way.
for you, but definitely for me.
Fuck. Well, I know it's possible, but it does seem a bit finicky. Mostly because you're stepping on a rock. You know, some things just weren't meant to be.
Here, jump here. This is the shortest distance. There you go.
One of these days I'll practice a KZ map, and then I'll really be kicking into high gear. Yeah, the fact that you can do it
Fnugz
on
was
one side.
involved with a KC map as well, so might want to check that out too. You're already here.
I just feel like if you can do it on this level, the fact that you can't do it up here is kind of confusing to me.
Yeah, it is actually. I agree.
Also,
Can also do it on a lower level.
This could be epic, although I doubt it's actually anything. But imagine making a little trick jump there and just to get a epic angle. That's it. That would be a powerful angle. And not really. I mean, it's pretty good visibility across the whole map. Like they did a pretty good job keeping to the theme and also keeping it visible. So I don't even think that would be too difficult to notice. I don't even think that the map is that small, because people in the chat are talking about how the 5v5 tests went. I think it's actually pretty appropriately sized. I think they may have gotten... Maybe some people were confused a bit about the nature of the game state changes compared to normal's hostage, but that's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, so one of the problems that you face with 5 and 5 on this map is that you have very little negative space. It's just like all of the areas are just separated by one wall, basically, thin wall.
Yeah, that is true.
If you
There's
look
not
at the
really that
minimap,
many,
for example,
not many rotation spots, right?
just one black blob in T-spawn, and that's it. That one is the only actual negative space that we have.
Yeah, there's only a little bit of stuff everywhere else. So I guess you could add more spacing to the map that way, but... I guess that's probably a good thing you can't jump into the water. Since that would unlikely, or undoubtedly break some stuff.
Yeah, I think they did a pretty good job at clipping that off.
There's
Never
no hostage
feels
reset.
frustrating or restricting.
What is
Oh,
a
hostage-
hostage reset trigger exactly?
Well, a bomb reset trigger is when you lose the bomb somewhere where it can't be retrieved.
Yeah, yeah.
It will be reset to the last point where it touched the ground. And you don't have that with the hostage, so you could jump into the deadly water with the hostage and nobody could retrieve it anymore.
Well, you know, you could just pick this guy up and jump over it through this window, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I like that exit route a lot. If you're stuck here, you pick him up.
Why
Or
would
you
you
don't.
do that? He was singing. It's dangerous to approach him while he's singing.
I wanted to turn on the shower
Oh, yeah.
to extinguish.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's go.
Oh, you can be down here all the way. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that.
I think this is pretty cool for, like... See you later, Roald. Thanks for hanging out. Roald.
Clark.
Good luck with your poker. Yeah, I think there's a lot of nice ways to change up your height as well. Like, that's pretty good. I think there's a lot to like about this map. In terms of its layout, I think it makes some interesting decisions for adjusting the gameplay of Hostage. And the concern of negative space is definitely a real one for if this were a larger scale map with more players, but I think aside from some tweaks to improve the layout as it is, you probably don't have too much to worry about. I would encourage more people to play around with this kind of game state change to the Hostage game mode, though. I think having it be like in multiple phases of gameplay is probably the thing to do. Like, basically this map gives sort of like how a bomb has to go off once it's planted.
Yeah,
you know, there's
that's the one thing that bothers me a little bit about this concept. Like, initially it sounds like a really good idea, but the more I think about it, it's very similar to the bomb scenario generally.
Well, I think the thing that makes it different is that
it and then you wait.
I mean, if the bomb had to be picked up in contested territory by Ts and CTs, like, then it would be a bit more parallel, right?
Yeah.
And even then, one player is permanently moving slower, which might be actually something you might want to tweak in this mode, but maybe we should bring back escorting stupid AI that would run into walls and trap you from the 1.6 days. Might be the future. You never know.
But generally, I think that the map itself, or the map and the game mode with the 2 rescue zones, is much more suitable for 5v5.
I do think that like instant rescuing of the hostage feels a little binary to me, which is why I'm attracted to the idea of what they've done here.
Yeah.
So
it feels a little weird and confusing, to be honest, in the beginning. That you only need to touch the area and then you can walk out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
maybe the hostage should be dropped off or something, and then at that point...
Exactly. That's what I thought would happen, and that got me killed one time, actually, because I waited for something to happen.
Yeah. I think if the hostage just gets dropped off and you wait for the helicopter to come, and as long as CTs are still alive, or as long as CTs are still in the area, then the hostage can be rescued. I guess it's a little weird on how you would sell the thematic or whatever after that point, but I don't know. I think you can iterate on this, and like I said, I would encourage more map designers to play around with a system that's somewhat similar to this. I feel like this is more in the direction of what really works for Counter-Strike gameplay.
There's some very interesting work done on the angles, especially on that rescue zone A. Yeah. The one of on the terrace, where as a defender, so as a T in this case, you can be either up here or to the side here, and you need to cover this entrance, but also the back one. So both teams have 2 angles that they come out of at the same time, which makes it very overwhelming in Wingman.
Yeah, but it's much more suited to 5v5, right?
Yeah, exactly. Because most of the time you would just put one player here.
Yeah.
And they need to worry about both these angles. But in 5v5, you can have some really interesting engagements here.
Yeah, that's why I actually forgot that this was a Wingman map entirely when I booted it up and started walking around it, so to that extent I agree.
Visuals look really good, really solid.
Yeah, the thematics are upheld, and I don't think that there's any area that looks too much like any other area, so...
Yeah. To me, you could sell this as an official map, to be honest.
Yeah, I think this could actually be added. I mean, I think it would probably play better than the Valve official hostage rescue maps, so... The one thing I would say is... Yeah. Office is Office and what's the other one?
Agency.
Yeah, those
Well,
ones.
that's not wealth.
Well, yeah,
made,
true. Oh yeah, is there really only one Valve official Office? Is that it?
They took out militia, didn't they?
Yeah.
Assault. Is Assault still in?
Oh no, Militia's back in with a snow theme, and Assault is the one that they took out, I think. But either way, they all don't like. There's really not any difference in how they play ultimately.
Yeah.
Obviously, they have different architecture, but I mean, not really much of a difference elsewhere. So, yeah, I don't know. I think it's a really strong map. I can see why people would have been encouraged to give it that much sought after first place, and seems well deserved, both in terms of like the visuals, attention to detail, the and the gameplay that it offers, and the attention that was paid to angles
Absolutely.
and keeping everything intact there. So, even if I didn't know that this placed first, I would have expected it to be a high placer for sure.
Yeah.
Like if I had to come up
It
with
works.
my own list.
It works visually very well. It works Counter-Strike wise very well.
Yeah.
It feels Counter-Strike-y. And at the same time, it innovates the game mode itself.
Yeah.
So,
Which is
I don't
it's
see
weird to
any
think about.
major flaws with the map.
It's weird to think about like a mapper having to innovate on a game mode, but I feel like that's pretty much the future. Like, even though you don't have to do it to the same degree for diffuse, I think that's what we need out of diffuse maps as well. We need a little bit of innovation that'll go a long way, I think. So, yeah, pretty cool stuff. Glad that I was able to check it out, and pretty good stuff to actually see. Definitely one of the maps that I'm interested in giving a shot when I do my next like CSGO game night. So, although
It's
the way
also
I do it,
available on the hub.
wait, what
right
happened?
now. It's also available on the MapCore hub right now.
Oh yeah, nice. There's a few of them, right? There's yours, I know, is on the map core.
Yeah, they're the top 5 from the contest.
Oh, okay, nice.
So Extraction, Orion, Calavera, Guard, and Sunburn.
Cool. Yeah, I have yet to check out actually 2 out of those 5. So we haven't booted up yours,
Yeah.
and we haven't booted up Calavera. So, and thanks to you, poLemin, who decided to take time out of your schedule to come in here
Of course.
and join
It
me.
was a pleasure.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Always nice to have you on. Definitely bring a perspective I couldn't hope to answer myself. So cool stuff there.
I'm always happy to talk maps.
Hell yeah. So, oh, that's just a tease. There's like a whole area down here with a ladder. Tell you what, you open this area up, suddenly 5v5 doesn't seem too small. That's all I'm saying. have a link up to this island over here. You're in business, baby. Just a thought. But as far as small tweaks to the layout or whatever, like some of the ideas that I had suggestion-wise, like this balcony being gameplay space for lurks, I think it's bangable anyway, so yeah, it should be easy enough to. Oh, maybe not. The window is, I guess, but not that. So I don't know, maybe you have to do that. And then maybe this epic spot. I guess you could just boost over here. Like, I could probably already do this to you, right? If you jump on me. You could probably already see out there.
Ooh.
So, yeah, that's probably already... Like, that's probably more balanced, I guess, than having to hit a trick jump and jump out there, but...
Epic.
Yeah, cool stuff. Looking forward to giving this a couple runs in actual gameplay. Thanks for making it, Fnugz and your buddies. And I think we'll leave it there. So thanks once again, poLemin, to join the stream, and thanks everybody who tuned in and said hi. And we'll be I don't know when the next one will be. I might wait until next Monday. We'll see what happens. Oh well, actually next Monday I'm doing something different for a mapping style stream. So I don't know if I'll be able to do another one of these. We might have to go back to a different day, but we'll see. I'll keep you guys updated on Twitter and stuff. So all right, cool shit. Catch you guys later on.